Hello, I'm going to do the Sagittarius energy reading, and I'm going to use my Tarot Grand Luxe. If you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, please feel free to check out the links down below. Also, this reading may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, so we have the current situation is Ace of Pentacles, and that is being crossed by the Four of Wands. What do you need to focus on? We have the Queen of Wands. What is it that you're leaving behind? Your past, lovers. Your strengths, Ten of Swords. Near future. Ooh, I love that. Near future. Advice, yeah. Six of Swords. Environment, Knight of Cups. Hopes and fears, Queen of Pentacles. Potential outcome, the Knight of Swords. All right. I'm going to use my Gilded Tarot Royale to get some more messages for the reading. So I feel like the current situation is the Ace of Pentacles and is being crossed by the Four of Wands. So I feel like there's a partnership that's not beneficial to you. Queen of Wands, there she is again. Could represent you. I feel like you're in between. I feel like you're in between a rock and a hard place. I feel like you're in the middle of a situation. That's what yeah. I feel like you're in the middle of something. I feel like you're, it could have to do with money. It could have to do at work. I feel like there's a power battle going on around you. I feel like, and you're caught in the middle, and I feel like you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I feel like you're being pulled in different directions, and it's definitely overwhelming for you because nobody likes to be in the middle of anything. What do you need to focus on? And I feel like that's you. I feel like it's this Queen of Wands energy. I feel like it's... We have the Ace of Cups and we have the Hangman, and I feel like it's seeing things from a different perspective, and I almost feel like you need to see it that, okay, are you a part of this conflict? Like, did you cause this? Or like, why are you in the middle of this? And I feel like it's like, what is the best solution for you? Because I feel like this thing that you're caught in the middle of, that it's affecting you more than what those people know or this situation knows. And I feel like it's affecting you stronger and stronger, and it's in a negative way. And like, you're caught in the middle, but I feel like you have to step away from it. Like, you have to say, like, wait a minute, hold on. This is not serving me. Like, I don't need to be in the middle of this. And I feel like it's taking back your power and filling your cup so that it's overflowing, and focusing on the, like, if you don't have either side, like, what relationship works best for you, or how do you have your cup overflowing? I feel like you're leaving yourself out of this equation. I feel like you're caught in the middle. Sometimes we just get wrapped up and we get caught in the middle, but then sometimes if it goes on for a while, like, it's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't be stuck in the middle anymore. It's starting to affect me. It's starting to affect different areas of my life. It's starting to affect, I feel like, eating, like, stress and anxiety, and it's starting to affect you. And it's just like, okay, I don't, like, saying to this situation, like, I don't need to put myself in that anymore. The reason why I was feeling that it was a relationship is because we have, what are you leaving behind? We have the Hierophant, which can represent Taurus. We have the Lovers, which can represent Gemini. And then we have the Four of Cups. I feel like it's just, you're leaving behind this situation. Like I'm feeling overwhelmed. like I'm stuck in the middle of this, and it's not a good place to be, but it's almost like you have to break away. I just feel like it's break away. I feel like you absorb a lot of the energy that surrounds you. I feel like you take on a lot of, it's almost like being that empath. I feel like it affects you, like the energy that you're around affects you deeply. That if people are struggling, or people feel sad, or people feel angry, I feel like you absorb it. I feel like it affects you a lot. And I feel like it's been affecting you for a while. That's why when I was looking at this hangman where he's letting go of those weights, I feel like there are things that you need to release. I feel like you have a lot of built up stuff. I feel like, so your strengths are Ace of Pentacles. We have Ace of Pentacles again, and then we have the Six of Cups. I feel like you're a very loyal friend, and I feel like you take a lot of swords for other people. Like I feel like you're very devoted. I feel like you kind of use yourself as a shield. I feel like you take a lot from other people. And I feel like you're a very good friend. I feel like you're very devoted, but I feel like you leave yourself out of the equation. I feel like you're not as good as a friend as you are to other people. I feel like you're not that to yourself. Because I feel like you sort of you absorb all of this stuff, and you leave yourself in situations that are not the best for you. Near future energies, we have this Nine of Cups, and I love that. We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Four of Wands. I feel like it's focusing on those relationships that are positive for you, that are a partnership for you, that have that back and forth. I feel like it's cutting out. I feel like he's taking a sword and he's cutting through all of this. He's saying like, no more. I'm not doing it anymore, because I feel like you realize how this is affecting you, that it's affecting you greatly, that you can only do so much, and that you've gone above and beyond, and it's starting to affect you, and that you're ready to focus on your Nine of Cups. You want to have that emotional fulfillment, and you want to work on those. Like I feel like this sun energy right here, like this brightness, I feel like that's what you want to focus on. That's where you want to be. Like you're finally choosing you. The advice, yeah, like I feel like it's leaving this, looking at this Three of Swords and saying, why am I putting myself into this? But I feel like aces are new beginnings, and it's like, okay, I got to look at this from a different perspective. I've got to see this differently. I've got to see, I have to have a new way of thinking. Like if there's another way to compromise in this situation, that I feel like you'll figure that out. But I also feel like it's no longer putting yourself in that energy, because I feel like when you walk away from it, you feel this massive sense of relief. The environment, yeah, is this Ten of Cups. Like, what is your Ten of Cups? Is anybody asking you what your Ten of Cups is? Is anybody there to support you? Sometimes that's what happens, is that we constantly support other people, but then when we're struggling, or we're having trouble, we're having problems, like they're not there for you. And I feel like that's kind of something that you've realized, and you're like, well, okay, why is it that that person's always taking, or the situation's always taking, but I'm not getting it back in return, like letting that go. We have the hopes and fears. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Queen. I feel like it's like the hopes, the fears of losing relationships. But it's like, is it a relationship that was really serving you? Like, was it a relationship that was draining you? So I feel like it's all about how you look at it and how you perceive it. I feel with the potential outcome, I feel like with this Knight of Swords and the World card and the Two of Cups, I feel like it's you're finally choosing you. You're loving yourself, that you're saying, no, I'm not going to. I just like the way his hand is holding so tightly onto that sword, that it's like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not putting up with this anymore. Like, I've done it long enough. Like, I have to choose me. I have to stand up for me. Like, if you're on my team, then that's fine. But it's like, if you're not going to work with me, then, you know, I can't do this anymore. Like, you can only do so much. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which is so slow, steady progress, and it's working towards good and better things and towards that happiness. But this is something, definitely a process that you're going through. It's work that you're having to deal with, and it's changes that you have to make. And sometimes it's really hard to stand up and make those changes, because especially like I've said before, I feel like we train people on how to treat us. And sometimes when people are so used to treating us in a negative way, but we don't say anything, we don't speak up because we don't want to create conflict, that's what they're used to. But then when we stand up and we say, okay, I want changes, I want, this is what is important to me, that it's hard for them to accept that. And they're like, well, wait a minute, you've never been like this before. Like, you've always, you know, been this way, but now you're that way. And it's just like, and so then that I feel like that shows people's true colors. And it's like, well, do I want to continue to have that person in my life? Like, is that, you know, and then you see, okay, were they really for me, or they just wanted to, you know, have all these things against me? Like, they just wanted me to do all the work, but they didn't want to do anything. So I feel like it's a big eye-opener for you. But I feel that it's for the best for you. So I feel like you're finally focusing on you, and that's a good thing. All right, so let's get a Star Dragons. All right, we have inspiration. So who are those, what is that inspiration that you have? Like, who inspires you, or what inspires you, or what is drawing you for this change? And then let's grab these two. These are the Star Dragons. We have legacy, persistence, don't give up on yourself. Like, that's the hardest thing, especially when you have these challenges. It's like, I just want to give up and I'll just go back to the way things were. But I feel like it's almost like you've already transitioned into the change, and it's like, yeah, going back to the way things were is even harder than it ever was before. And then we have transcendence, achieving success. And I feel like that also has to do with changes and evolving and persistence and inspiration and pushing forward and looking out for yourself and saying, no, I can't give up on myself. I have to keep pushing forward. I have to keep pushing through. And knowing that even though it's challenging, that it's worth the fight. It's worth the battle. Because I feel like you've carried a lot for a long time. All right, so let's get a spirit animal oracle. We have Owl Spirit. I love it. You see clearly now, without a doubt. Without a doubt, you see clearly now. Your eyes are opened. You're seeing what's going on. If you're making changes and you're backing away, or you're choosing yourself and people are reacting, that shows you their true colors. It shows you what's really going on there. And sometimes that's really hard to accept and deal with. But it's like, well, I have to do what is best for me, because I feel like you've been at the short end of the stick and you've been taking the loss for a really long time, and it's time to turn those around. But that's completely up to you. You have to do what is best for you. I'm not telling you what you have to do, but if you want these changes, I just feel like sometimes you just have to choose yourself, and then you see who follows you and who comes along and who supports you, and then who walks away. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.